Planning an interstate trip's a big logistical effort. There's a lot of planning that goes in place. There's catering, transport, there's staff to plan and making sure the players are happy when you do go interstate. The planning starts weeks out, the detailed planning, and the overall planning for all our interstate trips start the November and before. There's a lot of property and equipment that goes up when you play interstate. We'll fill the back of our truck full of boxes, and these boxes can range from boxes that weigh from 5 kilos right up to heavy ones that may be 20 or 25 kilos for equipment. And that equipment includes our game day equipment, the equipment we need for our trainers, so massage equipment, physio equipment, and computers that the coaches use as well.
I'm the senior property steward at the Essendon Football Club, which I've been doing for nearly 24 years. We've got a truck that we load up with everybody in their various departments. We have a sheet which I've made up with everything on it that we need to take, and then as we do it, we tick it off, and that's when it goes on the truck. We take this case. This is the Bible. Without that, it makes it a bit hard because not everybody can memorise what I've got up here.
They're in early packing. They pack the truck, get it on there, unload it once they get there, distribute it once we're there interstate. After the game, they're packing it all up again, getting on the truck, getting back to the airport, and they're always the first there and last to leave. So they do at times a thankless job, but we always appreciate what our property guys do with regards to shipping the equipment that we need on match day. Typically when we play interstate, a massive group that goes up, it's made up of the team that's going up and playing, plus 1 or 2 emergency, number of staff who go up. So there's some staff who will go up 2 days before, typically trainers, and your operations, your logistics staff, so we're moving all the equipment. On the day of the game, then you'll have the rest of the staff who support the team on every match they go up.
Yeah, so what we try and do, we make sure that all the big guys have the aisle, and we try and make sure all the players have an aisle. We can only do so much. We put little guys like Travi in that, they can go anywhere, so it doesn't really matter. There you go, put you in a little seat for a little fella.
Thanks, mate.
No, mate.
Appreciate it.
We're trying to get the players working. It's a good right-hand man to have. So what the Virgin guy's just done to me now is just given me all the tags of all the luggage that we've got. So it looks like I've got a lot of luggage myself. So every single tag of what we're taking, just including the gear for the game, we've got 52 items weighing in at 980 kilos. The last 2 boys, Jakey and Stewie, so once they get their boarding passes, they'll then all be in the Virgin Lounge. So they'll be ready to go.
Thanks, John.
Stewie, there you go, Jake.
There you go.
Just arrived in Sydney, about to grab our bags, jump on the bus and start our prep at the hotel for the game tomorrow. Yeah, we're only on the plane for about an hour then, which is nice, so you don't get fatigued in the legs from sitting down too much, so it's a bit nicer than going to Perth.
With our whole squad that goes up, including staff, obviously we have to put them up somewhere. We organise those room listings probably a couple of weeks out. We send those room listings, including our catering requirements, to the hotel, and we liaise right up to game day.
Just arrived in Sydney, quick flight up. It's always good coming to Sydney, not too far. Yeah, the Intercontinental's a really nice hotel. Usually I get the view of the bay, but I've been shifted this time. It's down out of the city, but yeah, it's really nice to come and stay here. Check in and check out's pretty easy, unless Hibbo comes in after a game and raids the fridge, eats all the chips and lollies and gets rid of all that. So yeah, or Kramers doesn't mind a feed late night. Get some dinner, eh? Dinner time and hydrate up for the game tomorrow.
We have a dedicated room, like a function room within the hotel, where we'll have our breakfast, lunch and dinners, and so the players know that's where they go to for that. Typically we'll probably have a couple of meetings in there in the lead up to the game, and basically that space is reserved for us, which is really handy during that 2 days at the hotel.
This is the snack bar all the boys will tuck into in between dinner. This is where all the selection of dinner will be when we all sit down, and at the moment a lot of the guys are going through a few loaves of bread just to get through till we all tuck in.
One thing that's really important for the players is to have access to food 24 hours. So we have an area set up where they can just do quick, easy snacks like toasted sandwiches, muffins, yogurts, muesli bars. So those are the things they have access anytime they like. They're not in their usual structure where they're not doing all the training they normally do when they travel into the state. There's a lot more time on their hands, so they probably eat more regularly. Whereas when we're training down here, it's the opportunity sometimes to eat that's really difficult. Most of them should be spreading their meals across the day. 6 or 7 meals is a better way to go than great big meals. So we have together templates that we pretty much use at all hotels, and they're really based on familiarity for the players in terms of the foods they would normally eat. A little bit of variety, so if we're there for 3 or 4 days, when we travel to Perth, we wouldn't serve spaghetti bolognese every night or every meal. So a little bit of variety, but meals that we know the players will really like and eat.
It's hard work Interstate because we've got all the gear, all the massage tables and all the gear to pack up that goes on the off the truck on the plane, and then it comes off the plane on the truck back here. We unpack everything, get ready for pre-game massage. Then we go tomorrow and take everything off the truck again, and just keep on going and going and going. And some people in Melbourne might think that we're up here for a picnic, but no, it's pretty hard work. Yeah, look, the night before the game, players really cherish their massage. It sort of relaxes them, it gets them prepared. As you can see with Nat right here, he's focusing down there and he's thinking about the game already. And it's part of a footballer's preparation, so it's pretty important that we cater for their needs. They'll then go to bed, maybe watch a little bit of TV and sleep, and then away we go tomorrow.
How we can set this network stuff up. We'll go from there. I think the rules for the coaches will be able to just run with their laptops. We have a pretty standard layout match day of where the coaches are sitting and what sort of screens and statistical views we want to provide for them. So what we'll do now that we've just first arrived is work out where everyone's going to sit and how we can get those screens and displays to the right people. So the communications are running from the coaching box up here down to the bench down on the ground. We run with 3 channels. So we have the coaches all on one line talking down to Dean Wallace, and also the runners down there. On the second line we've got the high performance guys talking to each other, one up here and one down there. They look at GPS data and that type of thing. And thirdly, we have a channel C where the coaches can talk to the players. So the coaches can switch over. You'll see on the benches here that the coaches can switch over and chat to the players when they want to throw one of them on the phone.
Certain people have to see the entirety of the ground, so football analysts, coaches, but then also people are sharing screens and displays within the coach's box. So our midfield coach, Simon Goodwood, likes to be able to see stoppages replayed at any point, and they're controlled by our footy analyst Craig Jennings up here. So we've got to make sure that the two of them can see each other's displays, so they can communicate. Goody likes to be able to see the GPS data as well, so we need to keep that in mind. He can get close to the screen up here. So it's a little bit of musical chairs trying to work out how to best place people depending on what seating arrangements we've got available.
We're in the GWS change rooms too, where Essendon will be today. First of all, we're going to put out some jumpers. And the first locker is the General, Dustin Fletcher. He takes number 1 because that's what he likes. Some of the players like to have new socks, which are Let's see these ones here. Spoil them, don't I? Hey? But it makes them happy. This towel here, it's about the last thing I do. It's for the General, Fletcher. It's his favourite red towel. Rain, hail or shine. Anytime he doesn't get, if he doesn't play. And I'll put that up the top here. And one thing after the game, he very seldom forgets to say, thanks, mate. Which makes it a pleasure, you know, to do it. It's a pleasure to get up and go to work. Because I've seen some greats come and go, like Terry Danaher and, you know, Simon Madden and guys like that, and Vanderhaar and all that, and Nagel and all those sort of guys. And then they move on, then a new breed come in, and they come and go, and you got your Dyson Heppel and your Stuart Cumbries and
don't forget the old Fletch.
Goddard and Fletch and Watson. And while getting back to Joe, used to look after him when his dad was playing football. Him and the Madden kids, we had the crash going, you know, but it was terrific. Now these kids are growing up and you're looking after them again, you know, but that's great.
Oh, that's a look. Cheers.
It's a great game. But this is the group that's been with us over 20 years. This is the group that I refer to as Dad's Army. So this is our team, our trainers team on field, and our masseurs pre and post game. We've actually been there so long together that we know what we're doing, what our role is. We're like a little ant farm. We all know what to do, how to set everything up. Everything goes smooth. Players experience exactly the same experience for every game. Yeah, well, here we go. We've got a trader. We've got a trader in the mist. What's he doing here? I finally get on camera and you've taken it away from me.
O'Brien, he spotted a little gap. Oh, what a great kick. Essendon need another. Since that goal, he's watched as the Giants have banged 3 on the board, and he responds in the best way possible. Merritt just a step ahead. Myers is capable from there, and he knew it, and we all know it now. Boom.
So we've just finished the game now, so now we've got to get back to the airport because we've got an 8 o'clock flight. So it's now about 5:10, and with the soccer on here as well tonight, it's going to be hard to get everything out. But I think the boys are ready to go home, so we've got the points and we'll get out of here.
The respect and care that we show for each other is certainly very similar to my own family.
Caring about each other, how people are going on the field, off the field, you know, the family type scenario that a footy club becomes.
When you show care, I believe it leads to better improvement in performance.
You know, we've got a huge supporter base, very loyal supporters, and I think that you know, you have to respect what they give to the club and the importance that they have in the role, and that you are only an extension of what they do for you.
You care about everyone involved in your life, I suppose, from your family, your friends, and obviously your teammates and your coaches.
For me, it's very important, and it just provides happiness, and I think that it's something that should never be undervalued.
I must admit, when I looked at the ladder after the weekend, and I went, have a look at that, Hawthorn, Essendon 1 and 2 on the ladder, and it just brought back memories. And I thought, this is, if it can be, if the rivalry can be as good now as it was back then, we'll see some sensational football. The real rivalry between Essendon and Hawthorn started in the 80s. They were a very successful club, very strong. We couldn't beat them. We got a chance to play them in that 83 grand final and got belted in by a record score. But then we had the opportunity to play them again in the next grand final and we won, and then to play them again in a third grand final and beat them. That really developed that strong rivalry.
The Hawthorn-Essendon rivalry has been fantastic since the early 80s, really. As a kid, used to go and watch Essendon v Hawthorn and boo the Hawthorn players and cheer on the Essendon players. So it's been a great rivalry, and the 3 grand finals in the mid-80s were fantastic.
That 84 grand final just stands out in my memory. In all the other things, the one that still comes back is the last moments of that game when the siren went. there's a whole mixture of emotions, but the actual relief that you can actually say, yes, we did this. There's exultation and jubilation, but this actual relief that we said we were going to do this and we actually did it is there's a huge satisfaction in that as well.
This is unbelievable. We haven't seen these sort of scenes for a long time in AFL football.
This is the 1980s revisited.
The line in the sand game in 2004 really brought it out again even stronger. And the likes of Dermot Brereton and Dipper talking about that rivalry at that time too brought it out again.
The game I remember most as a supporter was probably the line in the sand game, where obviously tempers flared there, and we come out and they sort of tried to match us, and it was another really good game. And yeah, I guess I've never really been involved in a game sort of like that. The game got a bit heated, and it was good to watch, but obviously we won the game, which was good.
I think we beaten Hawthorn for a number of occasions. They'd beaten us for a while, and Dermot Brereton got them fired up before the game. They came out swinging, and it was all in brawl except two players. One of them was myself. Stood at full forward with Smith, my opponent. We watched the whole thing.
Some real eagerness there and spirit shown in the middle, and this bubbling over a little. Gains about 5 metres. Sewell hit hard by Lloyd, and Sewell is out.
The game I remember was 2009, the last round of the year, and we had to win to make finals. So I think that sort of began something, for me as a player, in terms of just a hatred for another team.
They're the team I dislike the most, not for any reason. It's not about the people there. It's more about just the fact that growing up as a kid, you learnt to dislike the Hawks, but there's a mutual respect there that obviously Hawthorn's been a fantastic club, set the benchmark, I think, over the last 30 years about success and a lot of respect. But yeah, as a supporter, you certainly dislike the Hawks the most. The fantastic thing about this Friday night is it's 1v2, and we're trying to get there. Hawthorn obviously won a premiership 4 years ago and played in the grand final last year, and we're trying to get somewhere near that level.
Talk with the group about a big game like this is just the basics, really. Any other week, so we don't think this game's more important than any other game. It's we've got to come to the game with the right attitude and play to the way we want to play against Hawthorn. So it's not too much of an issue with that. We just got to play the same as we've been playing.
The expectations are put in a competitive performance and play the way we want to play. We've got a huge amount of respect for the way Hawthorn play. They're a quality team, good around the contest, move the ball well, defend well, all the things you need to do. So we know we've got a tough night ahead of us, but we're certainly going in with a good expectation about the result and where the result should come from. But really it's about playing our brand of football, and our last two performances against Hawthorn have been very disappointing, and I'm sure the guys are ready to put on a good performance.
Roughhead gets the crumb, bounces at Goldwood. Oh, Roughhead, well done, gets his second.
You certainly wouldn't want Hodge, Mitchell, Franklin, Roughhead get too much of the ball, kick too many goals, have too much impact on the game. Certainly Gibson, very good for them down back and setting up the ground for them, setting up the game for them. So there's a number of players there that we need to keep an eye on, but it will be about us too, and getting out and getting back to some good football. I mean, we're very confident with Zaharakis coming back, Howlett coming back, Hocking coming back. We'll have a look at Winderlich as well. So there's a few players there that we're looking forward to getting back in the team.
I look at that's the Hawthorn blokes looking for a pot.
Rivalries over the time is always interesting, because sometimes I'm not sure if the young new players understand what it meant historically. For them it's another game of football, but I think the media builds it up and the supporters build it up, and of course the club has the memory of it. So I think it starts to come out, and where Essendon positioned at the moment and where Hawthorn are positioned on the ladder, it won't take much to bring that rivalry back, I tell you.
Well, I think for us it's about the respect that we want within ourselves, that we can play against the best and beat the best. I thought our Sydney performance wasn't up to scratch, but our Geelong performance for most of the game was pretty good. So, there's certainly Geelong, Hawthorn, Sydney, Fremantle looking like they're the best four teams in the competition, and we want to sort of break into that area. So to play against Hawthorn and play well would mean a lot for this group.
Good on you guys, back for another edition of Dyson's Diary. This week we've obviously got a massive game coming up, and we're going to be wearing the special jumpers this week for our Clash for Cancer round. So obviously to raise a bit of awareness for men with cancer, and I guess this comes off the back of the story of Adam Ramanaskis, who with his brave battle with cancer. So we've got the special yellow strip here. The jumpers will be auctioned off after the game, so if you want to jump online and have a go at these bad boys, be a good one to get. So no, obviously really looking forward to the game on Friday night, 1v2, and it's going to be an amazing game, and the boys are ready to go and can't wait. So good on you guys, we'll see you next week.
G'day, I'm Steve Alessio, Football Operations Manager for the Essendon Football Club. I'm here today driving the conversation with Kia, and we've got Michelle here. Michelle, what does Essendon mean to you?
Essendon means a lot to me and my family. We go to every game together and have been doing so for as long as I can remember.
Who would be your top 3 picks in the Bombers team of the century?
James Hird, Matthew Lloyd, and can't go past Job.
Oh, he's great, isn't he?
Yeah, he's really good.
To say thank you for your continued support of the Essendon Football Club, anyone who's been a member for longer than a year will receive substantial savings on all cars. If you like the look of this Kia Carnival, you'll save $3,400 when you buy one just for supporting the Bombers. Go to kiamemberoffers.com.au to find out more.
The international rules, obviously, playing for your country is obviously, you know, apart from playing in grand finals and things like that, is a massive honour. I remember I was overseas at the time. I was actually already in England on just a family holiday, and she rang me up from Melbourne and said, "Oh, can you come back and be part of the camp and get involved?" And you know, when he rang me up, it was in the middle of the night in England because of the time difference and all the rest of it. And I said I would. So we had a 24-hour flight back, and then within about 3 days we came back again. It meant a lot, and obviously to play in a winning team over there was amazing at Croke Park, and again in front of such patriotic people, the Irish. It meant quite a lot.
Something most people don't know about me is I'm studying a Bachelor of Education at university, studying to become a teacher, so very exciting about that.
Oh, look at this, sets up Howard, gets a look from 35, kick on the way, Bombers hit back.
My most annoying teammate would have to be Leroy Jetta, and also Travis Collier. I always come in and Travis Collier's tied my boots up or all my runners together. So first thing I pack before going away to a game is always the boots. Number one thing, can't go anywhere without them, so I'd hate to play my runners one day. Best thing about playing for the Bombers is probably playing in front of big crowds, 80, 90,000, Anzac Day and the Dreamtime game against Carlton as well, so yeah, the best games. Don't forget to visit the Essendon website to take part in the fan segment for your chance to win an Anthem prize pack.
This has been a Fox Footy production for Fox Sports.